You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
What did it take to survive an ancient siege?
Why was the cult of Dionysus behind so many slave revolts in ancient Rome?
What's the tragic history and mythology behind Japan's most haunted ancient forest?
We're Jen
And Jenny
from Ancient History Fangirl. Join us to explore ancient history and mythology from a fun, sometimes tipsy perspective.
Find us at ancienthistoryfangirl.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Have you ever wondered how inbred the Habsburgs really were? What women in the past used for birth control? Or what Queen Victoria's 9 children got up to? On the History Tea Time podcast, I profile remarkable queens and LGBTQ+ royals, explore royal family trees, and delve into women's medical history and other fascinating topics. Join me every Tuesday for History Tea Time, wherever fine podcasts are enjoyed.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neil. I'm here with Jeff. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Ken and Matt are not here. They are exploring if the city of Aspen is real or if it's just a fictional location from Dumb and Dumber. So good luck to them, and hopefully they'll find the answers that they're looking for. But today is a special bonus episode of all South Park trivia. And we're super excited. We have a room full of competitors and a special guest host to get to. But Jeff, why don't you just tell the folks at home, if this is their first time listening to Triviality, why this might be a little bit different?
Yes, so this is going to be a little bit different than our format because we are talking just about one topic. Usually on Triviality, every Tuesday we put on an episode that's about 30 questions of general trivia. But this one is going to be special for you fans of South Park. So we're going on down to get 30 questions for our competitors. They're each going to get 10 apiece. Fired off at them, and then we're going to see who emerges as our victor today. But yeah, certainly if you're looking for more general trivia, stick around. You might learn something today, but otherwise we put out episodes every week.
Awesome. And this episode is brought to you by our Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/Triviality Podcast to help support the show. It helps us continue to grow, get new equipment, and just make the show as best as we can. But also, it allows us to do great things like this and release a bonus episode every month. But without further ado, let's get to our competitors and our guest hosts. I'm going to introduce our competitors first in order of them playing. So let's start with a Savage Superstar right here from the Chicagoland area, our friend Jason Kuntz. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. We're so excited to see your setup in front of your camera. You got some plushie toys, some Funko Pops, all South Park related. So tell us a little bit about you, why you're excited about today's episode, and then maybe your favorite supporting character from the show.
Yeah. So growing up, my parents never let me watch South Park. So naturally, it's now my favorite television show. Like you mentioned, I got all these toys here in front of me. So it's going to look really dumb when I come in dead last place. And I guess since I get to choose my favorite ancillary character first, I guess I'll go with Butters. I think Butters is his run of episodes where he was the star were pretty solid.
Wonderful choice. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and for your support. Let's go right to our friend Marcus Ellis, Savage Superstar, right outside of Seattle in Washington. You may have heard him on a recent live episode where he performed valiantly and was hilarious as always. But one of the co-hosts of the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Marcus, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm going to sound a lot smarter in a dumber way today, which I'm very excited about. I didn't have any, restrictions on watching South Park as a kid. I just did, and I loved it, and it's shaped and morphed my sense of humor into something that isn't for everyone. And, this is, I'm excited to talk about it because, this is one of my favorite shows. And I would say, when I say research, I mean I was watching episodes. I think one of my favorite moments with an ancillary character is in an episode featuring Butters, where there's the Judd Crandall ish character because I love Pet Sematary, and he meets Butters on his adventure, and that it cracks me up every time. his I think it's Trey Parker. His Judd Crandall impression is fantastic. So I'll say that.
Great choice. And last but not least, so excited to welcome for the first time on the show a Savage superstar coming to us from Arlington, Texas, Nick Rodius. How are you, Nick?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you. Same thing about you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your favorite ancillary character.
I'm originally from Tacoma, Washington, for you Seattle guys. Yeah, woo. Relocated to Arlington, Texas. I've been here most of my life. It is very hot, and when it's not hot, it's icy. But yeah, I'm an AV tech by day, a bartender by night, and all I do is watch South Park day in and day out. Favorite character, you know what? It would have to be Mr. Hanky, because I own a Christmas light business, St. Nick's Christmas Lights. This is my shameful plug. And yeah, just Christmas spirit keeps me going.
Well, we hope one day that you can take a picture for us wearing a thermal vest and a Chicago Bears hat like Clark Griswold from Christmas Vacation. Maybe do a little reenactment for us.
Absolutely. Hanging from the roof and everything.
Exactly. Well, those are our competitors today, and we're so excited to invite back one of our good friends of the show to host today's game. He said that he was an expert and knew even more about South Park than Trey Parker and Matt Stone, which he did not say. I don't want to put him, in the well there, but I'm very excited to welcome back our friend from Buffalo, New York, Eric Eade. How are you, Eric?
Good. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to do this. This was just... Marcus and I have talked about this before, that this needed to happen. And if I couldn't compete, then I would write the questions. I figured this is a way to make it happen. And reached out to you. You said, let's do it. So here we are.
We'll tell folks a little bit more about you. If they don't know, you are also one of the co-hosts of the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. But what else is going on in your world?
I'm finally at a job for longer than 2 minutes. So that's going well. No, I'm a nurse at a cancer hospital. So that's been kind of a goal of mine ever since I finished school. So finally where I want to be, and things are going well.
Congrats to you.
Thank you. And I've lost I don't want to swear, a crap ton of weight. So, I'm finally able to move. I'm playing sports again, doing all this stuff that fun stuff now. So getting old sucked. So I had to do something about it. And now I'm back being active again. So fun.
And how about supporting character for you?
Oh, no one said it, right? No one said him. I'll pick the obvious one, right? I don't even consider him a supporting character anymore because he's just that epic in almost every episode. It's got to be Randy. Randy is just he's turned this show into something better. Like, it's almost like if it's a Randy episode, it's just it's it's going to be a good time. Yes, I was going back to find questions, like deeper questions, and just every Randy moment was just I watched the where he goes to pledge PC, and it was just it was just so good. I'm dying laughing like the first time I ever saw it. Like, it's beautiful.
Well, Jeff, before we get started, were you a watcher of South Park?
You know what? No, I was definitely in the camp of the parents not wanting me to watch South Park. I did watch some later on. I had a couple friends in high school and stuff that were really into it, but for whatever reason, I don't know, it never really hooked me. I mean, I've seen most of probably the first couple seasons, so I know a little bit, but certainly not anywhere near as much as today's competitors. So
I'm right there with you. I was first shown South Park or discovered South Park. I think it was either 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. It was starting to get big in our grammar school, and I remember going to Hot Topic to get a T-shirt with all 4 of them on there. And I got in trouble at school for wearing the T-shirt because I think it said something like Kilkenny or something like that. And teachers didn't like it. And they're like, what is this cartoon and why is it so vulgar? And they didn't understand, obviously, as parents don't, as the Fresh Prince told us. But also, I'm just a huge fan of The Book of Mormon, the musical by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, and love Team America. So it's all fun stuff, great comedy. But it's not about us today. It's about our competitors. So one more time, Jeff, what are the rules? And we'll throw it to Eric.
I'm doing the rules.
Well, I could do the rules, sure. Well, basically, it's going to be 10 questions per competitor, so 30 questions total. So hopefully, everyone listening will get your South Park fix, and then it's basically whoever has the most points out of 10 questions. So 10 out of 10, you win. Maybe 5 out of 10, you win, depending on how the other competitors play. You never know.
Yeah, we do have a special extra little bonus today for today's winner, and they get an Acura cake.
Ooh, all right. Well, Eric, we're going to throw it to you. I'm going to keep score, and let's say after 5 questions, I'll do a little score recap, see where we're at, and then we'll see how everything goes.
All right, just one quick thing is, are we do alternating or 5 at a time to each person? What do you want to do?
So we'll just go down the line of Jason, then Marcus, then Nick, and you can just one question per competitor, and I'll just keep score over here.
You got it. All right, so let's kick this off. First thing I do want to say, while I was writing these questions, I did learn that it is hard to write questions for South Park and not have them be completely inappropriate. So, so I did my best. I apologize if any of them do whatever. Anyway, so who's starting? Who's getting question 1? I missed that.
It's going to be Jason.
All right, Jason. So for question 1, one of my more wordy questions here is, in the episode Worldwide Recorder Concert, Mr. Garrison's class is invited to Arkansas for the recorder concert. Who does Mr. Mackey get in a fight with on the bus on their way to their destination?
I remember a lot about this episode. I know that they play My Country 'Tis of Thee is the song that they're all playing. I know that there's a storyline. This is going to be very hard to talk about these questions, too, while keeping this appropriate. There's an entire storyline in that episode where Mr. Garrison is unhappy that his father has not molested him. And I can't remember when they're on the bus there if he's having that argument with Mr. Garrison or if it's with the bus driver, Miss Crabtree. I'm going to go with Miss Crabtree. I think that they were arguing about how to get the kids to be quiet, and she explained to him he needed to be more forceful. I'm going to say Miss Crabtree.
Okay, so after being insulted, Mr. Mackey gets into a fight and loses to Mr. Hat.
Ooh.
I remembered everything except that part of that scene.
All right, question number 2.
We're going to go to Marcus.
This goes to Marcus. When Cartman sets out to meet older friends, we are introduced to NAMBLA. However, we find out that there are 2 groups that use the acronym NAMBLA. What are the 2 meanings of NAMBLA?
Oh, no. I know one of them. I know one for sure. It's, so one is the North American Man-Boy Love Association. And then the other one, I don't think I'm going to be able to pull this. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I don't think I can. Oh, no. I don't think I have it.
I think I can tap in on this one. I think I know the other one.
Sure, for fun. Yeah, go ahead.
I believe it's the National Association of Marlon Brando Lookalikes.
Oh my god! I couldn't get Leonard Nimoy out of my head, and I was like, "It's not Leonard Nimoy. It's an actor. It's people that look like an actor." So nice job. Yeah, but
well,
yeah.
The first one is the North American Man-Boy Love Association, and the second one, you're close, but it is the North American Marlon Brando Lookalikes.
Right, we need to include Canada there.
Yes, everybody.
This is going to go to Nick.
Nick, all right. So Nick, Randy Marsh has had several occupations, most notably his time running the Tegrity Cannabis Farm. Name any other 2 of Randy Marsh's occupations.
Dang. Okay. Well, he was a geologist, I believe. Hope I'm not getting that wrong. And, man, I cannot think of any other job he's had. I'm not going to be able to pull it.
All right. Anybody want to take a guess at some other ones?
Go for it, Marcus.
He definitely worked at Walmart.
He was also feeling good on a Wednesday when he was Lord.
I guess that's the job, too.
There you go. So we have geologist was correct. He was a singer-songwriter. He was a security guard. He was a school chef for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
And he was also the head coach of the Denver Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right, we're going back to Jason.
Back to Jason. Question number 4. Who is the biggest douche in the universe?
That would be John Edward.
And that is correct. It is John Edward.
Is that the pseudo psychic?
Yes.
I'm not a
nice.
douche.
He gets at the end of the episode, he gets transported to space where he wins a pageant as the greatest douche in the universe.
That's great.
All right, back to Marcus here. For your question, PETA protests against the use of cow as South Park Elementary's mascot, causing the boys to boldly hold an election to determine a new mascot. What are the two leading candidates for the new mascot?
That would be a giant douche and a turd sandwich.
And that would be correct. And I apologize for two back-to-back douche questions, but when you're writing South Park, that's just what happens.
You're a healthcare professional. It's all healthcare.
All right, moving on to the second question for Nick here. In the episode Cartman's Incredible Gift, Cartman has psychic abilities in which he exploits this for personal gain by working as a psychic detective. This episode marks the last appearance of what seldom seen South Park Elementary School employee.
I believe that has to be Mr. Garrison.
Okay. And Neil, I wrote this question for you because it was kind of like Psych, which I know you're a big fan of.
Yep.
But the last appearance of this character she is the bus driver, and it's Veronica Crabtree.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Remember the detective, he goes, yeah, they said she was an ancillary character that nobody would miss.
She hasn't really done anything in the past few episodes, so we
Right.
just leave her off.
Right.
All right, on to the next question for Jason. When Kenny is left in a persistent vegetative state, a war begins. Cartman, who wants Kenny to die, and Heaven, who needs Kenny's spirit to fight hell, and others who believe that he should be kept alive. Why did Cartman want Kenny to die?
I remember the golden PSP in this episode. But why did he want Kenny to die? I got nothing. I will say, I know it's from a later episode, but he wanted somebody else to be the poorest kid in school.
You were on the right track in the beginning with the PSP. Cartman wanted Kenny to die so he could inherit his PSP. All right, let's move on to Marcus.
Normal kid stuff.
Yeah.
Right. All right, the boys discover that the girls in the class have made a list for them. In order of cuteness, the boys, after 2 attempts, eventually succeed stealing this list and discover its ranks. Who is ranked as the cutest?
Hey, what's going on? Clyde is the cutest.
And that is correct. Clyde is the cutest, and unfortunately, Cartman was the ugliest in the real list. And apparently, there's fan fiction lists all over the place about this, which is kind of weird to find.
Oh, of what the real list looked like.
Of what the real list should be,
they explained
like-
it in the show. That
Yeah.
It's no surprise, though, when you have people making fan fiction about Jessica Rabbit and Lola Bunny, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it's not the cartoon part that's the problem. It's the 4th grader part.
Yeah.
That's the problem, but
Yeah, the outrage of desexualizing Lola Bunny in the new Space Jam. How dare they?
All right, let's go to Nick. In the Make Love, Not Warcraft episode, what weapon was removed from the World of Warcraft and stored in a 1 gigabyte flash drive because it was just too powerful?
Oh my god, it was on the tip of my tongue, and that is my favorite episode. Oh, it's Sword of a Thousand Truths.
That is correct. It's the Sword of a Thousand Truths. And if you've not seen this episode, if you watch South Park and you've never seen this, the death scene for Randy is just Oscar worthy.
On the board with that one, Nick. Great poll.
All right, we're going to circle back to Jason. This is my favorite episode ever, so sorry.
I don't disappoint.
All right. On Canadian Appreciation Day, Mr. Mackey plays a video for the boys where the president of the WGA, Stephen Aboutman, talks about Canada's contributions to the world. What is the WGA? I'm sorry, what does the WGA stand for?
I believe the WGA is the World Canada Association. It doesn't match up with the acronym.
You were close. It is the World Canadian Bureau.
So even more wrong.
Yes, it's just...
It's the way he says it too. He always goes, from the WGA, the World Canadian Bureau.
He's the great. You know what? I changed my answer from the beginning.
Stephen
He's the best. Yes, he's the best ancillary character. Canada's on strike for more money, and nobody knows why.
More money.
All right, back to Marcus. The new Mormon kid moves to South Park, and no one is a fan of Gary. He was a state champion at wrestling and tennis. He also has 2 national commercials for what type of product?
This episode also has one of my favorite Randy Marshall lines of all time. I'm gonna say toothpaste.
And you would say correctly because it was 2 national toothpaste commercials.
Nice job.
Nice poll.
But
What's the Randy Marsh line?
it's when Stan goes over there and they're teaching him about Mormonism, and Randy's like, "What? They're teaching him what?" And then he goes, "I'm gonna go kick his ass." And then he goes, "Wait, is he black?" And he goes, "No, he's a white guy." And he goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna go over and kick his ass."
All right, anyway. All right, Nick, I hope you're ready for the shortest question I wrote of the night. Your question is, what did they take?
They took our nerds! They took our jobs.
That is correct. Nice work.
I don't know what's going on, but I love it.
The people from the future taking our germs.
It's hard not to enjoy other people's enjoyment of stuff. That's for sure.
Just Google South Park on YouTube. They took our jobs, and you will see what we are talking about.
That one comes back around a couple times.
Oh, yes.
They took our jobs. That's great.
All right, Jason, you are up. What was Randy's idea for dealing with the homeless people problem in South Park?
This is when they try to move them all to the next town over, I believe. I think they try to get them. They move them all to the next town over.
Is that what you're going with? Just to make sure that's what we're going with?
Yeah, there's more to it, and I know there's more to it, but I'm not going to be able to remember the rest of it, I don't think.
So that was the idea that they went with.
Okay.
And if you know Randy Marsh, his ideas are not good. His idea was to turn them into tires, so we would still have homeless, but we could use them on our cars.
Change.
This is going about exactly how I thought it would.
All right, back to Marcus. Randy and Stan were building a Pinewood Derby car. Randy added a mysterious item. Meanwhile, a superconducting magnet was stolen. Who did the police think stole the magnet?
This is not the question I was hoping you would ask about this episode. What I was actually hoping you would ask is who's the alien gangster that comes down. But who do they think stole the magnet? I'm gonna use a recurring joke because maybe it came up. I'll say crab people.
That is incorrect. So after it's stolen, the news says that we're talking about how it's stolen, and they show security cam footage of Princess Leia of Alderaan.
Oh, yeah.
Stealing the magnet.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's who they were on the lookout for. So, all right. Over to Nick. What was the name of Randy's cooking show? You got a guess?
No.
Okay. Anybody want to take a shot?
Do you know it?
I the only thing I can think of is Creme Fraiche, but I don't think that's the name of the show.
It's basically that. It's Cafeteria Fraiche.
Yeah.
It is
Oh,
cafeteria
yeah,
fresh.
That's right.
Well, after 5 questions here, we have a score update for you. Jeff, what do we got?
Yep, we've got Jason sitting with 1 point. We've got Nick with 2, and Marcus currently in the lead with 3.
So still anyone's game. We're about halfway through, or exactly halfway through here. So yeah, let's throw it back to Eric.
All right, we're going to do back over to Jason here. What is packed full of vitamins and good for you?
Is this Chef's chocolate salty balls?
It is Chef's chocolate salty balls.
Nice.
If you ever need a quick pick-me-up.
Previously known as Fudgems.
I think we need to put that in the SEO for this episode, Jeff. Just Chef's chocolate fudgy balls.
Chocolate salty balls.
Chocolate saucy balls.
Salty.
Salty. I guess they're fudgy as well, I suppose.
All right, Marcus.
You put them in your mouth and suck them, Neil.
Clip that.
All right, Marcus, I did mention already that I watched the PC Principal episode where Randy pledges PC. Your question, where did PC Principal go to college?
Oh man, I have it. It's there. They're in the wine bar, and the multiple PC bros come up and they say where they went to college, and I'm pretty positive that PC Principal went to Texas A&M.
So yes, PC Principal went to Texas A&M.
Nice pull.
Yeah, they would come up to each other. Oh, yeah. I'm PC Ohio State. I'm PC.
I'm PC Arizona State. Oh my gosh, that's so stupid. It's so stupid that I know that. I'm like ashamed of that answer. I'm very sorry.
I'm just happy that it went to you for that. Like, it just fell perfectly for you to get that question. So that's because it's a sports kind of thing. It was, good stuff. Anyway. All right, over to Nick. What is Tweak afraid of?
I'm not going to be able to get there.
Okay, so if I said the words yum, tum, yummy, tum, tay, would that help you? No? Time to go to work. Work all day. We need underpants, hey. He was afraid of the underpants gnomes.
That's right.
Calm down, Tweak. Have some more coffee.
That scene, the scene with the underpants gnomes in the video game, though, is hilarious. If you're talking about the Stick of Truth, it's one of the best action video game sequences, I think, in history. And that's about all we can say about that on a PG podcast.
So what you're saying is the PC Texas A&M is the opposite of underpants gnomes.
Slightly.
Okay.
Slightly. All right. Back to Jason. Where does the class take a field trip to where the workers don't break character?
Oh, what the hell is it called? It's the old-timey settlement, and Butters and Cartman leave to go to the amusement park or the arcade across the street instead. Oh, what's the actual name of the place? Living in Chicago, I can't get Napier Settlement out of my head. But that's basically what it is. I don't think it's right. I'm going to say Boomtown.
The correct answer, Pioneer Village. And again, another amazing episode because
it is. It's great.
It's just, they refuse to break character no matter what happens, and it gets a little intense.
But we're in 1864.
What's a telephone?
All right, Marcus, we are now up to you again. What was the name of the anti-smoking group that comes to South Park? And who is the anti-smoking celebrity spokesman?
Oh, this episode has another one of my most favorite moments in the whole show, because the part that I'll talk about it in a minute, but it's so funny. Anyways, it's Butt Out is the name of the group, and constantly eating throughout the episode while he's campaigning for anti-smoking is Rob Reiner.
The anti-smoking group is Butt Out, and the celebrity spokesperson is Rob Reiner. Good job.
It's great, but as soon as you said constantly eating, I immediately thought it was Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny because that's also true. But it's when they're doing their little choreographed dance in front of the school, and they're doing that horrible. There's that horrible rapping, and the guy trying to beatbox, and then the girl comes up and she goes, "Don't smoke."
Now, Nick, you're getting this next question. I'm looking at you, and this always happens every time we do a bonus episode. I feel like you know everyone else's questions, and even though they're randomized, the ones you're getting are stumping you a little bit. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's all right. It's part of the game, I suppose, right?
All right, so Nick, your question. Satan's Super 16 party was a costume party. What costume was not allowed?
The only thing that's coming to my mind is Saddam Hussein, which I don't think it's that, the devil himself, or Jesus.
So there's always 14 of these at every costume party, always trying to hook up because they think they look hot, and the answer is the Crow.
Oh, that's right.
Brandon Lee's the Crow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Satan explicitly bans it, and then is about to come out dressed as the Crow because he told everyone not to dress up as the Crow.
All right, back to Jason. Terrence from Terrence and Phillip has been married twice. Name both his wife and his ex-wife.
Oh. So Terrence and Phillip marry a set of twins at one point, and they get their names mixed up. And I think that Terrence was married to Susie, and I can't remember who the other one is. So I think I'm going to have to tap. I'm
Well, he married one of the Queef sisters, and that would be Katie.
Katie.
And his ex-wife is a very famous Canadian singer, Celine Dion.
Ah.
All right, back to Marcus. What is the name of Timmy's rideshare car or rideshare app?
I honestly don't remember this, if I'm being honest, but I'm going to again go with here. I'm going to say something and then I'm just going to go with the running joke, I guess, and just say Timmy because I don't remember this like at all. So that's what I'm going to say, Timmy.
All right, Nick, since I saw you raise your hand there, just so you can get... what do you got?
Now I'm going to get it wrong. Handy car?
It is Handy Car.
Yeah.
It is Handy Car.
Timmy.
Well, you're winning in brownie points, Nick. That's all that matters.
All right. Well, Nick, this is your next question. Randy and Sharon Marsh had a home renovation show. You seem to be getting all the show questions. What is the name of their home renovation show?
I don't know. I'm going to tap. I feel like it's like white people renovating houses or something like that.
Is that what you're going with that?
Yes, I'll go with that.
All right. The answer is white people renovating houses.
Hey, there we go. I'm so happy you did that because you were gonna tap, and I was like, no, just say something, anything.
Say something, anything, please.
Just remember, no answer can be too dumb for this game.
Right?
That's true.
As you'll know by the next question. Jason, what celebrity is one of Scuzzlebutt's legs?
Oh, man. Is this John Boyega?
It is not.
No, it's dang it, I don't know. I'm not, it's...
Marcus, do you got it?
It's Patrick Duffy.
It is Patrick Duffy.
It is. Yep.
I've seen that episode for sure. I know that one.
All right, Marcus, that brings us to you. When having a sleepover at Cartman's grandmother's house, what sleeping bag does Cartman have?
Oh, it's Steve Urkel.
It is Steve Urkel. And I wish I had a Steve Urkel sleeping bag. So
that'd be sweet.
I have
jealous.
a creepy doll that my dad found at a garage sale. An Urkel, like, it's not even plush because the head is like hard plastic.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's got does it have the pull string on it?
I don't know. I haven't checked because he
Oh.
gave it to me in like a box of like assorted random things he got me for Christmas, and I was like, I don't know why you gave me this. I will send it to you.
I'm pretty sure check that because there may or may not be a pull string on it, and when you pull it, it's like, did I do that? Like it's yes, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
It's like the little penny doll with the plastic head.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot like that, except it's freaking Steve Urkel.
my best friend has a Pee Wee Herman doll just like that.
I have one of those too. Yeah, we were going to sell it at a garage sale, and I was like, oh, we need to keep it. Who knows? What'll happen?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's going to be amazing to have forever.
Who knows when it's going to just sit there?
Nobody take my idea for a new Etsy store called Sleep Urkel, where they just sell
Urkel sleeping bags.
Yep.
And you can now quit your full-time job because that's gold.
Yeah, and then you have like one of those sleep, those white noise machines, and it'll just be him going, "Did I do that?" over and over again.
Got any cheese?
This has now turned into a Family Matters trivia bonus episode. I apologize.
Get ready for next month, Family Matters trivia. We just have to find people that actually want to do it.
They're all in their 50s.
Yeah.
All right.
Prime demographic for that show.
So, Nick, we're back to you. When Kenny's parents are trying to get pregnant, what ride does Kenny make his parents ride so he can solve this problem?
I'm gonna tap.
All right. Well, the name of the ride is the John Denver Experience.
Oh, no.
All right, Jason, here you go. Mr. Hankey's Christmas classics have Jesus and Santa singing together at McCormick's. Or is it McKimmick's? I think I put McCormick's, but it's McKimmick's. I apologize. What non-Christmas song did Santa sing when he ran out of songs that mentioned his name?
Did they do a duet of Summer Lovin'? I think that's what I'm going with.
So Jesus had 100 songs that mentioned God, Jesus, and Santa Claus. There's only, he drops an F-bomb here, but anyway, so many songs that mention Santa. So he started to sing Rio by Duran Duran. All right, Marcus, for your final question. What is Chef's full name?
Oh, I knew this at one point, but I don't know. This is one that I know I don't know. It's not in there. It used to be in there, but it's just not. So I don't have anything. I'm tapping.
All right. His full name, or not full name, just actual name, is Jerome McElroy. All right. On to Nick. For your final question here, what school staff member can speak Spanish?
I'm gonna go off a weird whim and say Mr. Mackey.
Well, your weird whim would be correct. The correct answer is Mr. Mackey. Is nothing better than hearing him speak Spanish.
When they go to Colombia, right?
Yes.
They take this field trip down to Colombia.
Out of everybody that speaks Spanish, yes, it's Mr. Mackey.
Well, that's going to do it. Eric, first of all, thank you for writing all these questions. They're all hilarious. Even if I didn't get any of the references, it was fun, as Jeff said, seeing all of you laugh about them and get in on the fun. But our final scores, Jason coming in at third place with 2, Nick in second place with 4, and Marcus, the victor today, in first place with 6. So great job to everyone. Let's start with Eric here. You wrote all the questions for us, took the time to do it, and we really appreciate it. As we said before, you're one of the co-hosts of the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, but any other shout-outs, anything else you'd like to say before we let you go today?
No, I mean, you can find Marcus and myself hosting the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. I've pulled back a little bit. I'm not on as many episodes as I used to be, but, work gets in the way, and I'm fine with that. But yeah, you can find us anywhere you get your podcast. That's Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. You can find us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Grindr.
I'm trying to convince them to do OnlyFans, but
OnlyFans. We're working on our OnlyFans page. Farmers Only. I know we were on there for a minute. But yeah, there's just a lot of different pages that we're on. But yeah, and one last thing I do want to say is because of my job and what I do now is just I get it. Don't smoke. Just don't do it. Like, cigarettes are a mess. Just the stuff I see at work. Just don't do it.
Wise words. Well, thank you, Eric, for joining us. And the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast OnlyFans, I think, is made up of entirely balls: basketball, baseball, football. Those kind of balls.
Tasteful nudes.
Chocolate salty balls.
Exactly. And Jason, I think you may have won the award for, I don't even know what we'd say, like the most blinged out competitor of any bonus episode with all of your Funkos and plush toys. So thank you for bringing those along with you. Any parting words from you today? Thanks for joining us.
I came in dead last, which is kind of what I was expecting to happen. So there's only really one thing to say, which is, screw you guys, I'm going home.
Well, thank you for joining us, Jason. Nice. And Nick, as we said, it looked like you knew most of the answers. It just wasn't the ones that you were getting for your official questions. But any parting words from you? Thank you so much for joining us today.
I had so much fun today, and I love you guys. I listen to y'all every week. And I believe I told Neil that I was the biggest South Park fan in the world, and I'm not even close to Marcus. Like, that is crazy, dude. I am impressed. So I need to go back to the drawing board and I guess go rewatch all of them again. But yeah, shout out to my wife for keeping my kid and my dogs out of this room. And other than that, support your local bartenders. That's a good plug.
There you go. Yeah, tip your bartenders. And as you said a little bit before, and I felt your pain, I'll send you some Limitless pills to help with your migraines for the next time you're on the show. Thank you. And Marcus, our champion today, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Anything you'd like to say before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to say a couple things. I'll echo what Eric said. If you enjoy sports trivia, come listen to us. We have a lot of fun, and there's a lot of nonsense. A lot like you guys. I mean, you guys are a big part of why we, are like we are, because part of doing trivia is just, having fun while you're doing it, regardless of whether you're getting answers right or wrong. But I would like to just say that how talented Trey Parker and Matt Stone are, because, like you mentioned, a Tony Award-winning musical, every movie they do, whether you actually like it or not, is just incredibly well written, and those guys are just so talented and weird. I enjoy them very much. But shout out to Richard Stamos, because we all want to hit the high F in loving you, but we not everyone can. So thank you guys for having me, and support these guys on Patreon. I know this is a bonus episode, so all these people already do anyways. But you can customize the amount that you donate. If you wanted to maybe add a weird amount to the end of your pledge, like some people would.
Like some people?
Yeah. I don't know who.
Some unnamed people who may or may not have done that.
Maybe
who appear on today's episode.
$10.69. I don't know what immature douche would do that, but thank you guys. Seriously, this is a lot of fun, and I always enjoy hanging out with you guys. So thank you.
And thank you, Marcus. You did my job for me with that excellent Patreon plug. We do really appreciate all of you for supporting us on Patreon. As you've probably heard 100 times, and we're going to continue to say it, Patreon is the lifeblood of Triviality. And it's what keeps us going strong. And we really do appreciate everything that has been given to us from our community, not just through that means, financially, but, we really do appreciate all the support we get. So, yeah, thanks again, Marcus, for doing my job for me. That makes it much easier.
And we'd like to do just one plug. We are on the Airwave Media Network, which you can find at airwavemedia.com. And you can listen to a bunch of different shows like History of Egypt, Attaboy Clarence, classic movies and radio, and Settle the Stars, Constellation series. So find all of those at airwavemedia.com. For Ken and Matt, who are touring Aspen, hopefully they find what they're looking for. And for Jason, Marcus, Nick, Eric, and Jeff, my name is Neil, and that was a Triviality bonus episode.